Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Talking Business. Today, we talk the business of health. Now, let me introduce you to my guest today.
Hello, my name is Oida Dalfonzo. I am the owner of VIVA Healthy Food.
Oida has taken her love and passion for health and wellness and made it her business. Today, we learn what motivated her to do so and how to build and maintain a company out of Doha, where she's currently located. What Now, have you always been into healthy eating growing up, or is this a recent development?
I have always been into healthy eating, and 3 years ago, I got into the in, in the Institute of Integrative Nutrition in order to be health coach, holistic health coach, and that's how my journey began with all these probiotic drinks, fermented foods, living foods, and all that. But basically, I have always been into healthy food, and I have always had the need to eat well, regardless where I am, and yeah.
Now, you mentioned this institute. People don't necessarily think you actually would go to schooling for something like this. So, what all entails in the schooling?
It was just a natural thing. It was the middle of a pandemic, and I have always been studying. Like, I went to university twice. I hold 2 degrees. So I've always been like, I want to study and keep on studying and gaining knowledge. So this friend of mine, she told me about this Institute of Integrative Nutrition. And I was like, wow, that sounds interesting. So I gave them a call. They're in New York. And they enrolled me in like a month or 2 months after in this program. And that's how it started. It's like holistic nutrition. Holistic comes from whole. So nutrition is not only what you consume, what you have on your physical plate, it's also what you consume as of in Instagram, what you read there, the books that you get, the relationship that you have within your family, your job, are you happy and satisfied or not? And it's like a whole compound of things that they affect you as a human being. And that's what catch me. And I watched like one or two videos about it, and I was like, yeah, I want to be here.
So, you brought up actually Instagram as far as the whole holistic thing. Now, I would think it would just be food, but you also saying the things that you consume, I guess, mentally in your site. How is that important?
That's absolutely important because as human beings, it's like, for instance, okay, you have an addiction for chocolate, but what makes you eat that chocolate? It's not that you sit on your plate and you want to eat it. No, there is something behind that. So maybe there is anxiety, and from where it comes, that anxiety, maybe it's because you're having an issue at home. Maybe you have a kid that is sick. Maybe your mom, when you were a child, was pushing you to eat the whole plate, and like, or maybe there is a situation in your work. Maybe you don't like your work. So we are not, what we consume is not only on the plate. We consume, for instance, Instagram. If you consume a lot of news and a lot of negativity, you're going to be the result of that. So you're going to be negative. But if instead you focus on the positive and then you look for content that they nurture you as a human being, whatever it is, because maybe it nurtures you, I don't know, knowing more about animal wildlife and, I don't know, organizations that they take care of animals. Things like that, they're going to keep you nice and positive. They're going to nurture you. And on the other side, if you watch news or whatever is negative, then you're going to go to that as well. So you are the result of what you consume, and it's not only food.
So, would you say, I guess, managing your stress, is that also part of it?
Absolutely. managing your stress, your emotions, it's something that is important in life because you cannot be a turmoil of emotions all the time. And like, for instance, that goes to, have you heard this thing of your life is like your life focus on what you give attention to?
Yes.
Okay, so that is something like that. Okay, so let's put an example. You have a job that you just don't like and you're unhappy, and in that job you have to take care of people. You're gonna go every day unhappy. You're not going to take care of people because that's not coming from your heart. It's not what you want to do. So your emotions are gonna be negative. You're not gonna be happy. Like, it's a consequential chain of actions, you know?
Definitely. I want to throw another, since we're on the Instagram part of it. Like, one of the things that people look at a lot on Instagram is, I'll just call it, is food porn. So,
Food porn.
and I know usually they marketing will kind of, they'll dial up the food, and I guess they say once you see enough of the foods, especially maybe more unhealthier foods, it may trigger a response in your brain to kind of go towards that. Would you agree with that?
Well, that's again where you put your attention, your focus, it's where you're going to head to. So if you are in Instagram consuming all fast food and fast food recipes and whatever it is, then you're gonna look for that. Yeah, you're consuming that material.
I wanted to talk about where you currently reside in Doha. Because I know until I met you, I had never even heard of it. So, kind of describe to me, like, for someone who's never been there, how is Doha?
Well, Doha. Okay, Doha is the capital city of state of Qatar. We are hosting the World Cup 2022 in November.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's an amazing country. It's full of opportunities. Geographically speaking, it's a desert and it's a peninsula. So we have water all around, and there are a lot of beaches, and the beaches are beautiful. The desert is amazing. The city is gold and diamond. Like, this is full of locks. Like, if you think of Dubai, or Dubai as we call it, it's something like that, but even finer. Because we have kept, and I say we because this is home for me. Like, I've been here for 12 years and it's home for me. So it's like a place where the traditions have been kept, but in such a subtle way that we can all live together nicely.
Okay, so
there are
no
those restrictions that people, they think that we have to bail up and all that. No, we don't have that.
Oh, well, that's also good to know.
Women drive. Women rule. That's another thing. Women rule.
Definitely keeping that on it. Now, I want to get into the eating habits in Doha. So, would you say that they eat more kind of like Americans eat, or people of Doha a little more healthier in their eating choices?
Well, to be honest, I believe in here they love fast food. They love a hamburger. They love French fries. But recently there has been a wave, but I think it's all around the world, that after COVID, like, people, they have been looking for healthier options, and I think that's happening here little by little. And like, the government is really encouraging healthy habits, and we have a sports day, and they lead on whatever it is about technology and health. They invest a lot into that. So yeah, I would say that some people, they like to eat fast food, but there is also a bigger trend that is going towards healthy food and healthy habits in general. Like there are a lot of gyms and a lot of fitness centers nowadays.
Now, I'm kind of surprised by the whole fast food thing. What fast food places do you all have there?
We have it all. We have McDonald's, we have Fridays, we have Chili's, and on top of that, all these local brands of hamburgers and French fries and all that. Because yeah, we love it. And donuts, like, and it's not like the normal donuts. It's like the donuts with an Arabic twist. So they have all these creams and all these rich sweets from the Arabic cuisine, but they're amazing. But yeah, they're really fattening us.
All the good, bad decisions.
Yeah.
So, how do you, as far as like marketing your brand, because it's more of the healthier aspect, how do you go about marketing healthy eating to people who probably have never, who are not used to that form of eating?
It's a niche. So I try to go within the people that is in that niche, people who are interested. And like when I go out of my way from that, it's like telling friends that they don't know. So I explain them and I begin by the results. Okay, by drinking this, you're going to get these vitamins and minerals, and it's good because you're going to have good bacteria in your body, and whatever enters that is good bacteria is going to get rid of the bad bacteria, and you're going to balance that your body. And if your body is healthy, you're going to feel better, and if you feel better, then your soul feels better, and everything is going to be better in life. Instead of having a Coke, a soda that is full of sugars, or if you take the one that is zero, it's like, yeah, but it's empty calories and you're not having any benefits out of that. So drink this, which is like, it's the swap, exactly the swap. It's a soda, but it's made of natural ingredients. And on top of that, you're having benefits, which you're not getting it from any other drink. So I go like that.
So explain, you mentioned empty calories. Could you count for the ones who don't know, what are empty calories?
Empty calories are those, for instance, 100 calories that you're getting from a drink, and it's just water and sweeteners. Like that's empty calories. Like for instance, ice cream. You're getting 120 calories. All of them are fat, and you're not getting any benefits from that. Any minerals or vitamins, like ice cream. And if it's a soda, you're just getting water, flavor, and the sweetener. Because, okay, if it doesn't have sugar, fantastic, but it has sweetness. So there is no vitamin there. You're not getting anything from that. So that's an empty calorie. So that's also when you talk about dense food. So for instance, you have a burger, and that burger is 200 calories. And then you have a sandwich made of chicken breast, lettuce, tomato, a nice mayonnaise, homemade, and all that. These two things are gonna be 200 calories. It's not 200, but just for instance. Then this one is gonna be empty. You're not gonna get vitamins nor minerals, nothing. And fiber, nothing from this one. But from this one, you're gonna have 200 calories full of vitamins, minerals, fibers, goodness. So that's what it means when we talk about empty calories.
Well, you kind of broke me
no
on that ice cream
out
thing.
of that.
But now I want to kind of explore more about your company. You are more, so I guess now in the, not the food, but more the drink aspect, correct?
Yeah. I mean, we produce food, for certain restaurants, but we are focusing now, like all the marketing is going to the probiotic drinks because we are the only ones in Qatar and most probably the only ones in the Middle East. And we have to explore that.
So you're saying you're the only ones. So is that in it? Because I mean, I guess some people thrive off having competition. So would you consider that more of an advantage for you or a disadvantage?
But I mean, there are other companies, but they don't have branded lines, and there's a lot of difference there. And I don't really think about competition. Like, I would really love if there are other brands to collaborate with them, because it's not about, oh yeah, my product, you know, it's about making a community and making people aware of what's to be healthy and that there are other options that you can drink instead of a soda that are good, that are beneficial for your body, and yet that you can actually give to your kids. And it's a good thing. You're going to populate the gut with good bacteria. And that's all about it, I think. It's not about competition. It's about making a community healthier.
So I guess your goal for your company, what you do, is to create more healthier options.
Yeah, for me, the goal is to get a healthier community. Because if you're a healthy human being, you're going to nurture your family as healthy too, and then your friends, and eventually your community, and then eventually your country. And that's what we want. Because in here, we don't have the option.
I guess I'm going to go back to Doha for a little bit. Like, I know here, like, my sister's vegan. So sometimes I would I explore veganism just to kind of see where the food is, how it tastes. I tried it like 10 years ago, and it was awful. It's a little better now. It's a lot better now. But I'm realizing, like 10 years ago, it was next to impossible to find these foods. Now it's a little better to find it, but it's like the little cousin you don't really hang out with very much. Like right in the corner out. You still got to look for it. Is that the case in Doha as well?
Here in Doha, there is a trend of healthy things, as I said before. So, like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, there was only one restaurant that was vegan. But nowadays, I see that there are many more that are joining to the trend, or at least that they have healthy options in their menu. Like whatever means to you healthy. If for you means to be vegan or keto or vegetarian, like whatever, they are having more options in the menu.
So I guess like maybe I don't know what would be the popular grocery where you are, but you would see more options at that grocery now.
Absolutely. Like before, there were like only literally in a fridge, there would be like 3 lines of things, vegetarian or vegan. But then now, like literally last week when I went to the supermarket, there was like a full fridge full of vegan options, from cheese to sausages to whatever you can find. And it's really good. Like before, we didn't have that.
Now, I know you mentioned earlier that you kind of market your products to people who are into that certain lifestyle. So, like, what places do you go to kind of market yourself? Like maybe gyms or I guess hospitals maybe?
Not yet to hospitals. That's in the plan. We are not going to talk about it, but that's in the plan. Because 3 months ago, I had a surgery and I got into the hospital. And I was observing my food and like the juices and all that. They were not the best ones because they were those that they have 12 grams of sugar per 100 ml. And I was like, no. So yeah, we're gonna figure out the way to go into the into the hospitals, because that's a place that is lacking of good probiotics. And when you're sick, that's the thing that you are craving more. Like, maybe not craving, but that's something that you need the most, And most of the time, it's very neglected, having probiotics while you're in a hospital. So anyways, where do I go? Well, normally I partner up with vegan restaurants, and like really exclusive vegan restaurants. Yeah, that's where we go. And we also have these apps that they do the delivery. So we are in the 2 biggest ones in Qatar. So yeah.
I got to go back to this hospital thing. So you was in the hospital, still trying to make business decisions.
I'll tell you, I relaunched everything while being in the hospital, because I had it all stopped for a while, because I was rebranding, and I was doing all these documents and things with the ministry for the trademark. And suddenly I got the accident. I got into a hospital, and that time I was like, I'm hyperactive. Like, I cannot be on one place and do nothing. No. Let me work. So yeah, while I was in the hospital, I said, you know what? I took the Instagram, and I said, we're launching this now. What? We are reopening now. And I began to do and to touch all my ex-business partners from before, like one by one. Hi, we're coming back to business. Would you like to? And they were like, yes, definitely. So yeah, that's how it happened. They say that from the crisis, you grow up. So yeah, that was my crisis. To be in a hospital with a broken leg. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to be working for so long. What can I do? So I said, you know what? I'm not waiting for anything. Launch it.
So you're a woman who doesn't sit still even when she has to sit still. I'm the same way. A few years ago, I dislocated my kneecap and broke my lower leg, and I was still driving to work somehow. I don't know why or how I did it, but ended up doing it. But I want to talk about you say you're in these restaurants. Now people may see that and just think, okay, the restaurant just picks stuff, but I'm guessing you've had to talk to these people, make connections. So how do you go about that?
I just go, and they normally know what the product is about, and they tried it. And that's it. That's how it goes. If they like it, and they like it because it's really high quality. And yeah.
Now, is this one of those things where it has to be like a contract agreement, or?
Yeah, there has to be a contract agreement, like all the documentation and all that. Yeah.
So, and I don't need the details of it. Just so, is it like a time period or like a renewal? How does that work?
No, they order certain amount per week or whenever they need it. And that's it. We make sure that it's done, it's in stock. And yeah, we give it to them and they sell it. And it's a product that sells very well.
Restaurants and hospitals, as you say, what other places would you like to see your product placed in?
Which other places? For me?
Yes, personally. Yes, for you.
Regardless of restaurants or hospitals or whatever, I just want to see that every family in this country has some bottles at home, and that from the youngest one till the eldest one are consuming the product, because it's good. It's good for their bodies. It's good for their soul. That's my goal. It's to provide health It's my seed of health to the country.
Now I want to go back to you mentioned a trademark, and I just kind of want to see like what is the process of getting a trademark in Doha?
That takes a year. Okay, so how is the process? You have to go to the ministry. They're gonna give you papers. In here, they're really handy with explaining how the steps are. So you go to the ministry, they tell you, okay, they check your company, they tell you, okay, these are the things that you need, and la la la. So after that, you just hire a lawyer. I have a lawyer that works with me all the time since the beginning, and I just gave it all to him, and he went through all the steps that I don't really know, so I cannot tell you, but it takes 1 year approximately. Like, you have to provide, it's the same in US, it's like the logo, the motto, whatever is linked to the logo, you have to provide it, and then they have to go through certain steps. They have to publish it, and it stays on that Gaceta, I think is the name, for around 3 or 4 months. And after that, the lawyer receives a message of it's okay, no one else claimed for the name and the logo, and that's it.
So you have to wait a whole year for you to even get an okay or a nay.
Yeah. I know in other places like 3 months, but in here it takes long.
Like, do they give you like I don't know, updates every few months or something like that?
Every 3 months or something like that. Like, whenever one step is done, they will tell you. So it's like 3 months, more or less.
So you also mentioned that, like, you have a lawyer, and you always hear lawyers are integrating with businesses and entrepreneurs like yourself. To someone who's wanting to start off entrepreneurship, why is it important to have a lawyer?
Because these people are the ones that they will know every single step when it comes to ministries, when it comes to papers, when it comes to contracts. You need a lawyer. You need a lawyer, and you need also an accountant. That's the basic package. An accountant to do your accounts once a year, and that is gonna keep everything organized throughout in order to present it later to the ministry or whatever it is for the taxes and all that. And then the lawyer, which is going to release consignment contracts, whatever contracts, check whatever you're gonna sign. Like, that's something that you need. These two people, an accountant and a lawyer. Especially like when you're not familiar, like, but you're not an expert in laws in that country, you have to have a lawyer. But in any case, for any company that you have, even the smallest one, you have to have a lawyer. It's just handy for whatever. Whatever you sign, you have to make sure that you're signing. You see that there are some, how do you call that? Like some, in English, cláusulas in English, I forgot. It's like there are some prints, some terms and conditions that
we call it the fine print.
The fine print. Oh, fantastic, yes. So yeah, there are some fine prints that they are different from country to country. And then what's better than a lawyer to tell you, okay, to translate it into human normal language, what does it mean? So you will always need a lawyer. For contracts, like, you have to give a contract to the retailers in order to put product there. So you have to check very well the fine print and to be very specific. So for that, you get a lawyer.
As we say here, the devil is in the details.
Mm-hmm.
Now, would you suggest getting a lawyer like soon as you start the company, or is there like a certain point where you can go without a lawyer, you would think?
I believe that the cheapest things are the most expensive.
Oh, please
So I
elaborate.
prefer to,
Please elaborate on that.
yeah. So it means that if you don't have a lawyer and you're trying to set up a company, first, that's almost impossible. Second, it's like going around in circles without knowing exactly what to do, especially when it's not your country and you didn't study law in that country. Like, so it's better to nicely invest in a lawyer and set up everything and you have all your documents in line rather than going around to try to do things by yourself and not getting any result. Like, you can go, you have two ways. One is a straight line and another is going around and maybe after some rounds get to the objective. So the straight line is the lawyer. You
Now,
always need someone to refer to, like, it's needed. I'm pro lawyer.
oh, you definitely are. This is great promotion for lawyers. Now,
Well, I studied law, so that's why also.
wait, so you studied law?
Yeah.
A woman of many hats.
I know.
What form of law?
Because my mom is a lawyer. So yeah, it comes through my veins.
So, what law were you studying?
Normal law. I didn't do much. It was like law in general. I didn't get on a specific one.
So now we're trying to finally kind of talk about you as an entrepreneur. Did you just kind of fall into entrepreneurship, or do you think you've always kind of had that mindset?
I have always had the mindset, actually. And I grew up in a family in which they would tell you every day, first, study, because if you don't study, you're not gonna get anything nice in life. So first, study. And second, fight for your dreams and be independent and have your things on your own. So I have always had that in mind. And my dad, he still has a company back in Venezuela, and it's just the thing to be done, to have your own business. So yeah.
Now, growing up, how many other women entrepreneurs did you come across or just remember seeing?
I think a lot. I mean, I haven't met many, but I think there are a lot and even more every day. And in this country, like, women are well supported. So there are a lot of women doing things from fashion to whatever you can imagine.
In your time in Doha, because I know you mentioned you've been there for 12 years, you're used to, it wouldn't be necessarily odd to see women in positions of power there.
I think around the world, people in power are mostly men, okay? You will always see few or fewer women compared to men population in high power positions. And that's not gonna change now, maybe hopefully in the next generation, but that's just the trend around the world. That there are every single day more and more women trying to reach to high power positions, yes, but we haven't got there, not now. But I think it's something that is globally. It's not about the country.
Now, are you hoping to be one of those reasons that young girls see and aspire to be more in positions of power as they grow up?
I think so. There is a trend of girls trying to get high positions. Yeah. And actually, you can see that there are younger girls, like 16, 17 years old, beginning their journey into the entrepreneurship. Like now it's normal. Before it would be like, what? But now it's like, yeah, more normal.
Now, when it comes to being an entrepreneur, there's a lot of, because time management is something you all have to learn. So how do you manage your time from work to having time for you? Or when do you go, okay, I need to take a break from this? Like, how do you manage your time?
I just think I go with the with the flow. But as an entrepreneur, you are, at least your brain is working 24/7, because you're always looking for better ways to make your business grow. And that's pretty much my case. Like, I'm always thinking of the next step. I'm always thinking of growing. I'm always thinking of what's next.
So now, as I wrap things up, I want to, I guess, kind of ask questions that involve health. So first off, I've always heard in my journey working out that, and the numbers tend to fluctuate. I say like maybe 70, like you're wanting to get in abs. They say 70%, some people say 75, some say 80. But a great percentage of that work involves basically what you eat. Would you agree to that?
Absolutely. 80% of everything, it's nutrition. So you can go to the gym every single day, but if you don't do a strategy with your food management, then you're not doing anything. That's like you can be running every day, and that's fantastic. Or whatever the sport is, okay? Let's not just put running, but whatever your favorite sports or activity is, you can do it every day. But then after that, you just go and get a hamburger and get a French fry. It's like you're losing all the effort. So you're not gonna be a result. You're not gonna see a result. So you have to manage your food. Whatever is the result that you want to get.
We work out, it seems like the fat leaves everywhere but our stomachs. For some reason, it just holds there. Why is that?
Because as you age, more stress you have, and it's a hormonal thing, okay? So cortisol is the hormone of stress. As you age, you have to work, you have to do this, you have to do that, you got a family, you have kids, blah, 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 okay? And also the age itself. So the more stress you get, that goes to the cortisol. Cortisol says, hi, danger. What cortisol makes is to absorb all the sugars, whatever you eat converts into sugar when it enters the body, and that's gonna get absorbed in this part in the abdominal part. So that's one of the reasons. Stress, cortisol.
So my bills is giving me a belly.
Yeah. So you have to manage your stress. Do something with your stress. Actually, also coffee. Coffee, it gives a push to the heart and to the adrenaline to be released into the body. It's a whole chain. So adrenaline, activity, stress, cortisol, sugar, boom. There you go, abdomen.
Lucky for me, I don't drink coffee.
Good.
I'm one of the few people I know that don't drink coffee.
That's amazing. Also, there is a genetical disposition, huh? That's another thing, but yeah.
So let's say somebody who's, let's say even in their 40s, they've had unhealthy eating habits for pretty much all their adult life, and they're suddenly wanting to change those diets. Like how would, because you don't want to go like completely cold turkey, because you may kind of wean back. So how would you start off on the journey of healthy eating?
A holistic health coach, my first recommendation would be to add up a lot of options to eat. There is something that is called crowd out. So it's like, instead of removing foods from you, I'm going to give you more options. So first, I would give you a whole package of foods that you can have, and a lot of recipes, easy recipes that you can make. So you just add to your nutrition. And then eventually that person is going to forget of the fast food, and all those habits that they are not being aligned with health. So it's like to crowd up with good things, so the bad things are gone. Like basically what the probiotics do is like the good bacteria comes to your body and says, hi, I'm here. So a lot of good bacteria taking out all the bad bacteria. So like that. That's the first step. And one day at a time, and it's like baby steps. And still a baby step is a step. So yeah, and go to the gym, and not even going to the gym, because some people, they just don't like the environment. But like trying to try different activities, walking, swimming, yoga, whatever it is, so they find their favorite activity and that they stick to that. I think those are the 3 first steps that I would apply for that person.
You mentioned yoga, and I never really think of like yoga in the same vein activity wise as maybe jogging or like weightlifting, something I guess that would require you to sweat. So as an activity, how is yoga beneficial?
Yoga is beneficial because it has a spiritual component. So it opens up the chakras during the exercise, and it stretches. So it might not be as well. There is a yoga that is hot yoga. I don't practice myself yoga, but there is a hot yoga, and that one can also burn a lot of calories. Like there are so many different types of yoga activities that a person can do. So, but the thing is that the human body is made to move. So whatever you're doing to move, it's good. That's the principle, Just move. Whatever it is, walking, going through the stairs. Like me as a health coach, I'm gonna be happy to see a client that is, doing more activity than just being seated on the desk and going home and eating and whatever moves your heart, go there.
So it's funny you mentioned hot yoga. I tried that once, and I made noises I didn't believe a man should make, and I have stayed away from that place ever since. It was quite. I didn't expect to feel the things I felt. Let's just put it in that way. I was not prepared for none of that.
Why?
I'm
elaborate.
I say tall people aren't used to stretching. And bending in those ways.
It was more of an advanced class.
But as we ended, lastly, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Where do I see myself in 5 years? Should I say that? Should I respond to that? I don't know if it should go live. But I see myself with the biggest probiotic plant in the Middle East, expanded to Asia and Latin America. That's how I see myself.
I would like to thank Oida for taking time out to talk to me today, and I would like to thank you for listening. Until next time, take care.